Oh my goodness. He's completely out of control. Hello everybody. Happy Thursday and welcome once again to Strat-O-Matic Baseball 1966. I'm Spokane Steve. Hello there Kelly, and hi to Ben. Damn glad to be back. Yeah, I'm glad to get into some Strat-O-Matic here. Holy crap, what a morning. I went to return this sweater at the mall. Okay, you'd think this would be a simple in and out procedure, right? No way. I didn't have that one, so I had to buy something else. It took me forever to look around. Walking through the mall was exhausting. Yeah, I guess they don't make sweaters anymore, or they don't sell sweaters anymore that you can open up in the front, either by zipper or by buttons. It's all pullovers now, or pullover with a top button, right? I don't like pullover sweaters. Too confining. That's my huge dilemma for the day. Well, not quite, because there's Mookie. Hang on a second. Let me get my coffee out here. Mookie was on a rampage last night. He continued into today. I thought he was getting calmed down, and I set up the game about a half hour early like I normally do. He got up here and knocked the Mets bullpen down and proceeded to crumple up Larry Bernard's card pretty good. However, it's not, it's still readable. I'm not one of these people who collect cards or anything, okay? Let's just say that. So, I mean, once this replay is finished, 66 cards will go in a box with some other old sets that chances are at my age, I'll probably never, excuse me, I'll probably never look at again. So, whatever, it's playable. Good grief. Well, he knocked another one down too. He knocked the whole bullpen down, and I picked them all up, but I didn't see Bernard. And then I could hear him down there farting around with something, paper. He gets paper. Everything has to be put away now. And we've got, there's Thomas. Dodger Dogs. Boy, that sounds pretty good right now. Better than what I had. I had freaking Taco Bell. I'm ashamed to admit it, quite frankly. Anyway, okay, to the game. New York Mets and Los Angeles Dodgers, the first of a 3-game series. This is May the 27th still, of course. Righty Jack Hamilton for the Mets, lefty Claude Osteen for the Dodgers. Both pretty good cards. Hamilton actually a lot of walks on that card, I see. On base is a bit high, but the results have been good. He's 2-3, but with a brilliant 2.56 ERA for Hamilton. This will be his 9th start. He has 2 complete games. He's only allowed 43 hits in 56 in the 3rd innings. The walks, as you would have expected, is the problem. He's walked 29. And struck out 36. So other than the walks, good numbers. The walks hurt him. And looking at the card, that makes perfect sense. Osteen having a subpar season for his card. He's 2-6 with a 3.55. This will be his 11th start. He has just 1 complete game and has allowed 67 hits in 63 innings. It is a high hit card, though, with very few walks. Kind of what you would expect from Osteen, really. in that group of left-handed pitchers who tended to fare better in real life than they did in Strat-O-Matic, right? Because of the high hits allowed and few walks. There he goes now. He's tearing through the... We may have a Mookie attack any minute now. Is it really, Ben? That shocks me. I don't know what they're using for meat, but it doesn't even seem like it's real meat. Some kind of a greasy meat byproduct. I don't know. I'm only guessing here. I don't know what they put in there. I'm trying to focus my eyes in too, these aging eyes, right? And this month I'll return to my old eye doctor and hopefully get some results. So for today's game, here's the Mets lineup. It'll be Cleon Jones in the leadoff spot in right field. Jones had been playing center, if you remember. Ron Hunt at second base hit second. Ken Boyer is at third base. Dick Stewart at first base in the cleanup spot. Ron Swoboda is in left. Billy Murphy gets the start in center. Jerry Grody will do the catching. Roy McMillan at shortstop, and Hamilton the pitcher. Dodgers have, hello Bill Ivemy, welcome. Dodgers have Roseboro catching, the infield Parker, Lefevre, Wills, and Gilliam, and the outfield Davis, and Fairley. That would be Tommy and Willie, respectively, left and center. It's certainly some of the cheapest, Ben. That's why I stopped there. I just got a bean and cheese burrito. I figured, how bad can beans and cheese be, right? My jury is still out on the meat, okay? Perhaps someone can enlighten me on that. Doesn't really matter. I shouldn't be eating any of that crap, truth be told. And a welcome to Philip Reynolds. Philip for the Mets today. Let's check the standings. Let's see, the Pirates with the loss. The Dodgers and the Phillies are tied for second, one game behind the Pirates. The Mets in ninth place at 12-19, 8.5 back of Pittsburgh. And Osteen's completed his warm-ups. It's probably true. And here's Cleon Jones. Jones hitting .278, 1 homer, 6 RBIs. Osteen gets the sign now, and we're underway as a 3-6 comes in there. And that's going to be a double to 7 on the 6th. That's down for extra bases, and Jones goes into second with a leadoff double. Cleon Jones starts things off with a 2-base hit, and here's Ron Hunt. Mr. Hit by Pitch leads the team in batting at .304. No homers, 6 RBIs. And welcome to Kurt Miller. And Kurt, I can't argue that at all. You know, we had a place in Spokane called Sonic Burrito. They were the absolute best, okay? And then Sonic, the drive-thru, came in here, many years ago, and told them they couldn't use that name and ran them out of business. Sonic Burrito was just a local place. They had these huge, delicious burritos, all different flavors. They had some that were spicy hot. I could cut those things in half and get 2 meals out of them. And they are, alas, no more. So here's the pitch to Hunt. That's going to be a 2-12 left-handed, a grounder to second base to the left of Lefevre. He gloves it, throws to Parker as Jones moves over to third on the ground ball C. Early in the game with 1 out. Here's Boyer now, Ken Boyer. Mets glad to have Boyer back in the lineup. He comes in at .253, 2 homers, 13 RBIs. Early in the game, I'm going to roll for inner back. They'll be back. And here's the pitch to Boyer. 1-9 left-handed. That's going to be banged into left center for a double. That's going to roll to the wall. Jones can walk home. And it's an RBI double for Boyer, and the Mets jump out to a 1-0 lead. Well, I just sneezed. I may have to get a Kleenex. We'll get this half inning in first, however. Here's Dick Stewart. 217, 1 homer, 3 RBIs for Dr. Strangeglove. Osteen checks his runner at second. Comes into Stewart on a 4-4 right-handed. It's a fly to center field X. Tough chance for Willie Davis, a 2E12. He's going back, still going back. It's a 2, and he's not going to get it. That's a single, 2 stars, and the run will score. RBI single for Dick Stewart. Boyer in to score, and it's 2-0 Mets. So the Mets jumping all over Osteen here in the first. And the batter is Swoboda. As I mentioned at the top, Osteen just not really having a very good year. 17-game winner in real life with a 2.85, but so far has not lived up to his card. Here's Swoboda. Ron Swoboda just 11 for 67, still looking for his first home run of the year. Osteen comes in with a 1-9, called strike 3. Home plate umpire Williams rings him up. And with 2 away, it'll be Billy Murphy. Murphy has not played much. He's in center field today. Just 2 for 14 on the season. One of those 2 hits a home run. Osteen out of the stretch now. That's a 4-8 right-handed, a single to 10, and that's going to be a single, infield single, knocked down at second by Lefevre, but he has no play, so Stewart will stop at second. And that's the 4th New York hit off of Osteen here in the first. Stewart at second, Murphy at first, and here's Jerry Grody. Grody at 233, no homers, 8 RBIs. Roseboro out to the mound already, just checking to see if he's okay. Osteen nodding. Now back behind the dish, flashing some signs. Here's the pitch to Grody. That's going to be a 2-6 left-handed. Struck him out. So 2 Ks in the inning, but 2 runs crossed the plate on 4 hits, 2 left on. After half an inning of play, it's New York 2, Los Angeles coming to bat. And you'll have to excuse me for a moment. You might notice I have a new We'll Be Back paper as well. Mookie chewed the other one up. Oh yeah, he's been busy. There we go, that's better. And if I sound slightly irritated, I'm not really. It's more like frustrated. It's done nothing to dampen my affection for the little cat, that's for sure. Frampton went in, that's cool. That I certainly don't have any problem with. Okay, as Hamilton gets ready to work, let's go over the Dodger lineup. It'll be Wills leading off at short, Jim Gilliam at third base, Willie Davis is in center, Ron Fairley in right field in the cleanup spot, Tommy Davis in left, Jim Lefevre's at second base, Wes Parker at first, John Roseborough behind the dish bats 8th and Osteen 9th. The Mets defensively have Grody behind the plate. The infield, Stewart, Hunt, McMillan, and Boyer. And left to right in the outfield, Swoboda, Murphy, and Jones. I would agree with that too, Bill. And Ben, I'm with you. It's almost becoming an honor to not be included. It's a corporate. I think it's a corporate money grab for the most part. That's my opinion. You've got some ridiculous acts in there that have nothing to do with rock. And a lot of the great progressive acts, or the fusion acts as well, will never see the light of day. I'm sure it's fun to visit. Stone Fingers. They used to have, so didn't him and Pesky used to have arguments when they were both with the Red Sox? Okay, here's Wills to start it off. Morey hitting .287, no home runs, 5 RBIs. Switch hitter batting lefty against Hamilton. Here's the windup and the pitch. There's a 4-7 lefty. He walks him. That's been Hamilton's bugaboo all year, the base on balls. Let's check the battery now. Will's looking to steal always if he gets the chance. Hamilton a +3 hold. Grody a -1 arm. That's +2. 17. Wills will be held at 15. And with Jim Gilliam at the plate, they're going to put on the hit and run. Hit and run Gilliam on a 4A. Ground out, runners advance 1 base. Let me see how to score that. Grounder to first. So that's going to be a 3-1C. Wills to second. Gilliam, not much of a hitter against righties, and he did hit and run a lot in real life, so that inspired me to do so here. With a conversation watching it. Oh, is that so, Ben? Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I do understand, however. If you'd care to elaborate a little more, feel free. Here's Willie Davis now. Runner on second, 1 away. Davis at .294, 2 homers, 21 RBIs. Hamilton's pitch to the lefty is a 1-4. It's a foul ball behind the plate. Grody going back, drops the mask, and makes the catch for the out. And with 2 away, Ron Fairley will come to bat. I have a hard time playing the modern seasons in Strat, just because of the having to use so many pitchers. Trying to manage your bullpen usage is challenging. Yes, see, there you go, Kurt, right there. I mean, these are not rock. This isn't rock. This is... My mom listens to them. She's 87. I gotta stay away from this Hall of Fame stuff. It's not going to be positive. Okay, here's Fairley hitting .252, 4 home runs, 25 runs batted in, second on the team. Hamilton's pitch is a 4-11. That's a base hit into center. An open single. Wills rounding. 17, 2 outs, 19. Murphy a 0. He's coming to the plate, and they're going to cut it off and hold Fairley at first. On a 19, you're not going to get him. So they'll cut the throw off. That'll be an RBI single for Fairley, and that makes it a 2-1 ball game. I tell you, the average now, Kevin, is 5. If you have a 6, that's actually a workhorse by today's standards. Sonny and Cher, maybe. Here's Tommy Davis now. Davis, the leading hitter on the club, although only 50 at-bats. 19 for 50, a 380 average. 1 homer, 13 RBIs. Hamilton out of the stretch on a 2-11. He pops him up on the left side. It's McMillan waiting for it to come down, and he gloves it to retire the side. So the Dodgers get a run on 1 hit and leave 1. After 1 inning of play, it's 2-1 Mets. I'll bet the exhibits, though, on the positive side, I'm sure if I were to go, the exhibits alone would be worth seeing. I'll bet it's probably pretty cool. But as far as who's in and who's out, I don't even want to go. That's a can of worms I don't even want to open. Mike, hello, Mike. Just got to L.A., watching a replay of 80. 120 to 135. And that probably got him 8 or 9 innings, right? Oh, I still enjoy watching the modern game just because the athletes are amazing. I mean, in terms of pure athletics, today's players are arguably better than ever. But I don't care for the way the game is played. There must be 12 or 14 shortstops now that would have a 1 range rating. That's never been true. That's only happened in the last 10 years or so. It'll be McMillan, Hamilton, and Jones as we go to the second. McMillan, 17 for 80. It's a 213 average. He does have 1 home run. The pitch to McMillan is a 5-8 right-handed. That's going to be a double to 12 on the 11. He's got it. That's going to get past Davis. Actually splits the Davises. Willie gets it back in, and McMillan stops at second with a stand-up double. And that'll bring up Hamilton. Hamilton, a D bunter. 1 hitter's card. Not much of a hitter. He's going to lay it down. Squares to bunt on the D. That'll be an 11. And he pops it up. First baseman Parker will make the catch. Runner holds. Well, Hamilton unable to get the bunt down. I would agree with that, Thomas. Well, and Kevin L, they don't want to do that, because if you did that, you wouldn't have enough run scoring, and runs is what puts butts in the seats. I think Thomas summed it up very well. Here's Cleon Jones, runner at second, 1 away. Jones doubled and scored his first time up. Here's the pitch to Cleon now on a 1-5. He grounds it to short. Wills has it, looks the runner back, and throws him out, 2 down. And that'll bring up Hunt. Hunt 0 for 1. McMillan takes a lead from second. There's the pitch to Hunt on a 5-7. Another ground ball to shortstop. A little slow roller. Wills charges it on the run. Throws to Parker in time to nip Hunt at first. And the side is retired. No runs a hit. One left on. Still 2-1. That's true, Steve May. That's another good point. It all started, to me, with the lowering of the mound in '69. They had to start putting more stress on the elbow to create the same plane that before was achieved naturally due to the extra height. Bottom of the second, here's Jim Lefevre to start it off. Lefevre 287, 4 home runs, 21 RBIs. Switch hitter hitting lefty against Hamilton. Hamilton gets the sign from Grody. Here's the pitch on a 5-6, swung on and missed, strike 3. First strikeout for Hamilton. Here's Wes Parker now, another switch hitter. He'll be hitting lefty. Parker batting 282, 6 home runs, which leads the club, and 17 RBIs. Hamilton into the windup on a 6-9 left-handed, a double to 5. On an 11, he'll settle for the long single, and Parker is aboard. Parker not a star stealer, 14 plus 2, 16. The 7-12 to get the lead, they're going to have to hold him on. He's the tying run, so he's held at 14. That's tempting enough to try for. 7 or 12. 5, he does not get it. And Roseboro will swing away. Roseboro hitting just 176 so far, 2 home runs. Hamilton's pitch on a 3-7, a single to 2 on a 20. That liner is spared at first by Stewart. Holy cow. Now, Roseboro hit it hard, but right at Stewart, who made the catch. And here's Osteen now. Osteen's a left-handed hitter with end power, surprisingly. Hamilton's pitch on a 5-9 lefties, a grounder to short X. Tough chance for McMillan. McMillan 3-20, ranging into the hole. On a 4, he can't get to it. That's a single 1-star. Parker will stop at second. So Osteen with a surprising hit. Always surprising when a pitcher gets a hit, unless they're a 5 or an 8. That's what I always say anyway. So first and second, 2 away, and here's Maury Wills. Wills walked in the first inning, came around to score. Hamilton checks the runners. The pitch to Wills on a 4-8 left-handed. That's going to be banged over the first base bag and down into the corner, rattling around. Jones chasing it down. Here comes Parker to score. They're sending Osteen. Wills headed for third, and he's in there with the daily triple. That'll plate 2, and the Dodgers take a 3-2 lead. Let's take another look at it. 4-8 lefty. Triple to 9. He rolls the 6. And for Maury Wills, that's his first triple of the year. He only hit 2. Anyone else find that a little surprising? And now back to the game, back to our regularly scheduled broadcast. Here's Gilliam now. I neglected to mention his stats at the start of the game. He came in 11 for 63, a 175 average. Another reason why he attempted the hit and run in his first at bat. Now he'll be batting with a runner at third and 2 down. And here's Hamilton's pitch on a 1-7, and he walks him. Second walk issued by Hamilton. Gilliam not a threat to steal. He'd be a 15, not held. But a very small chance of getting the lead, and there are 2 outs, so Davis will hit away. Davis 0 for 1, runners at the corners, 2 down. Hamilton out of the stretch on a 6-7, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. 3 walks for Hamilton. And as I mentioned at the top of the game, that's been the bugaboo for Hamilton all season so far. The hits allowed have been solid, but he's given up a lot of base on balls. And that'll bring up Ron Fairley with the bases loaded. Fairley singled his first time up. Hamilton checks the runners. Now the full windup, and the pitch to Fairley on a 6-7. Did he go around? They check with the third base umpire. He did not. That's going to be the 3rd walk in a row by Hamilton, and that'll drive in a run. Will scores. Gilliam to 3rd, Davis to 2nd. That makes it 4-2 Los Angeles, and Grote's headed out to the mound. Hamilton's now walked 3 consecutive batters, rated 6 for endurance. Now, Ozzy Osbourne definitely rocks. Of course, I'm assuming that Black Sabbath has been in long ago, right? Dodgers will bat around in the 2nd, mostly due to the control problems had here by Jack Hamilton. Davis 0 for 1. Runners take their lead. The pitch to Tommy is a 6-10, fly ball to left, and shallow. On comes Swoboda, and he's there to retire the side. Dodgers plate 3 on 3 hits and leave the bases full. A wild 2nd inning. And after 2 innings of play, it's 4-2 Los Angeles. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. RBI for Fairley. The game would have caught that, of course, but that reminds me, I made a mistake in another game recently when I entered it. I had forgotten to give somebody an RBI, but the game gave it to them automatically when I manually entered it. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, we go to the 3rd. Osteen with a lead now, facing the heart of the Mets order. Here's Boyer, who doubled his first time up. Osteen gets the sign. Here's the pitch on a 1-7. Ground ball up the middle, cut off by Wills. Turns and throws to Parker in time. And that's 3 straight ground balls to short now for the Mets. And thank you, Mike, as well. I just saw that. Very active chat today, and I love it. Forgive me if I can't follow it all when it's moving that fast. But I certainly love the participation. That's what makes this great. Here's Dick Stewart. Stewart 1 for 1. Osteen set now on a 2-7 lefty. A fly ball into straightaway center. Willie Davis back and gloves it for out number 2. That's not a very good 8. Oh, you 8. 1-2. Speaking of rock and roll. Here's Swoboda for 1. Osteen's pitch on a 6-10 right-hander. It's a ground ball wide to 3rd. Gilliam's there. Throws to Parker, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Osteen. Osteen's settling down after a rocky start. Now let's see how Hamilton fares. Osteen also rated 6 for endurance, so both starters 6 endurance today. I would have expected a 7 for Osteen at least. Okay, so it's Lefevre to lead it off. Let me put a little arrow in there since they bounded around to keep me from getting confused when I enter this manually. Lefevre struck out his first at bat against Hamilton. Hamilton gets the sign from Grody. Pitch to Lefevre on a 3-7 right-handed, a fly ball into center field. Murphy drifts over and makes the grab. And here's Parker now. Parker 1 for 1. Hamilton into the windup. That's going to be a 4-10 left-handed. A fly ball the other way into left field. Swoboda barely has to move. And he squeezes it for the second out. 2 away, and here's Roseboro. Hamilton getting his sign. Pitch to Roseboro on a 1-7. Fly to straightaway center. Murphy again. 3 fly balls, 3 outs at a 1-2-3 inning for Jack Hamilton, who appears to have settled down. So we've got 3 innings in the books now. It's 4-2 Dodgers. Bernarth in the trainer's room for the Mets trying to get the claw marks removed from his back. And it'll be Murphy, Grody, and McMillan for the Mets. Billy Murphy singled his first time up. Osteen into the windup. 6-10 right-handed. A ground ball down to third base. Gilliam comes in on it. On the run, throws to Parker. 1 out. The batter will be Grody. Grody struck out his first time against Osteen. Osteen's pitch on a 2-5 lefty, called strike 3. Grody strikes out for the second time today. Williams rings him up. That explanation makes sense, Kurt. I wonder how many triples he had in his career. See, I was thinking because of his speed, right? He was legging him out. Not so much. His career high was 10. He did it twice, 61 and 62. He had 71 career triples in 14 big league seasons. '66 was practically his career low with 2. He had 2 in 1960. Only 1 in 72, but he didn't play much in 72. Hello, Mike Terranova, and welcome. Here's McMillan with 2 outs. McMillan doubled his first time up. Osteen into the windup on a 3-4. It's a little slow roller to short. Wills comes in on it, throws to first. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Osteen, who now has retired 9 in a row. That's beautiful. Good stuff, Thomas. He may, yeah. We'll see if he's able to work today. He's available. And to the bottom of the 4th we go. Osteen will lead it off. Left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch now on a 1-5. It's a ground ball to short. McMillan comes in on it. Gloves, throws on the run in time. That'll bring up Wills, who's walked and tripled today. Hamilton pitch to the lefty. Here he comes. 6'6" left-handed, and he walks him. Second walk for Wills today. Plus 217. He'll be held at 15. And he's going to try for the lead. 2 through 10, 12. He's out on an 11. 7. He's got the lead. 1 to 15. There goes Wills. Grody's throw down. He's stolen it on a possible overthrow number. Let's check Grody. Grody a 1 through 12. Here's the play. And he does not overthrow on a 16. So stolen base Wills. For Maury, his 16th of the season. That's good for second in the league. I'm sure you can guess who's leading. That's right, Lou Brock. Fascinating stat, Bill. Wouldn't have guessed that. And hope you can slay that cold, Mike. Next pitch to Gilliam is going to be a 1-4. That is ripped over Jones's head in right. That's extra bases. Wills can walk home. Gilliam ends up at second with an RBI double. And it's 5-2. Here's Willie Davis now, 0 for 1 with a walk. Gilliam taking a lead from second. Hamilton a check of the runner. Now the pitch to Davis on a 5-6. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Second strikeout for Hamilton. And that'll bring up Fairley. Fairley singled and walked in this one. Hamilton's pitch is a 1-5. That's a single to 9 on a 12. That liner speared by a leaping Hunt, and that will end the inning. Well, liner to second retires the side. The Dodgers settle for a run on 1 hit and leave 1. After 4 innings of play, they lead it 5-2. A cake that looks like a dog bone. Oh, is that one of... Hostess used to have that, but it was called a ho-ho. Is that similar? And I have to say, I haven't seen those in years. I actually preferred those to ding-dongs, but they still have the ding-dongs, and they got rid of the ho-hos. A rolled cake with cream inside. Probably just as well they don't have them, because that's one less junk thing that I'll have to buy and eat, right? 5th inning. This is a quandary now what to do with Hamilton. He's a 6th inning pitcher. But the Mets have been starred for runs all year long, and I think we're going to pinch hit for him and call it a day for Hamilton. He's not pitching particularly well today. Well, Hamilton's day ends at 4 innings. 5 hits. As usual, the walks killed him. 5 walks. Same old story for Hamilton, although going into this game, he came in with a 2.56 ERA, so he'd been getting away with it. Didn't get away with it quite as well today. He struck out a pair, allowed 5 runs. Let's see, with right, and then all the switch hitters. Bill Hepler will be the first man in out of the pen. He's a left-hander. And he worked in this game in real life. Batting, a lot of left-handed bats on the Mets bench, that's for sure. Eddie Brosseau will be the hitter. He hit in this game in real life. Brosseau has mostly been sharing shortstop duty with McMillan, and he'll pinch hit here. Brosseau 214 on the season with a pair of home runs. Osteen into the windup. That's a 5-7 right-handed. It's a ground ball to short. Will's busy there today, gloves it and throws him out. That is the fifth assist for Wills. Brosseau retired, and here's the top of the order and Cleon Jones. Drakes. Yeah, we don't have Drakes in the West. That must be the hostess of the East. I've heard of the Drake's coffee cakes, however. They're basically pretty famous, right? Never had one because I've never seen one in this half of the country. I think there's a Seinfeld episode all about that, right? Okay, here's Jones with one away. Osteen into the windup on a 1-7. A ground ball up the middle, cut off by Wills. Spins and throws to first, and another play to Maury Wills. So Wills certainly keeping busy at the shortstop position today. And here's Ron Hunt. Hunt 0 for 2. The pitch from Osteen on a 2-3. A liner right into the glove of Lefevre. So a liner to second. It's another 1-2-3 inning for Osteen. Hostess, I would guess, is nationwide. Whereas Drake seems to be an Eastern thing. And now here comes Bill Hepler, the lefty. He'll take over the pitching for the Mets. Hepler on the year has been in 8 games, been an ERA of 9 in 6 innings of work. So he hasn't fared well so far. Very small sample size, of course. Solid looking card. Not many hits, quite a few walks. Tommy Davis will lead it off. He's 0 for 2. Hepler gets the sign from Grody. Here's the windup and the pitch now on a 3-10 lefty, and Davis bangs a single right up the middle. That's a leadoff single for Tommy Davis. Davis not a threat to run, and Hepler with a -4 hold. So a huge difference there. With Grody's -1, that's 5. Davis isn't going anywhere. And here's Lefevre now. Lefevre will turn around and bat right-handed against Hepler. Hepler working from the stretch. Comes in there with a 6-7 and ball 4. He loses him. The first 2 batters reach here in the bottom of the 5th, and that'll bring up Wes Parker. Parker will turn around and hit right-handed. Runners take their lead. Hepler looks back at second, now set. The windup and the pitch on a 4-8 is a grounder to shortstop. That looks like it's going to be 2. It's McMillan to Hunt to Stewart. Double play. 6-4-3 double play. Tommy Davis takes third on the play, but there's 2 outs now. And Roseboro, the batter. Left on left. The pitch is a 1-5, and it's a base hit up the middle for Roseboro. A 2-out RBI single. That plates Davis and makes it 6-2. Oh, they're owned by Hostess. That's interesting. So I'm guessing the Devil Dog is very similar to the Ho-Ho. Here's Osteen now, left-handed hitter, 2 away. Hepler with a 3-7 struck him out. So Hepler blows it right by Osteen. That'll end the inning, but the Dodgers pick up another run on 2 hits and leave a man. After 5 innings of play, they lead at 6-2. Well, I wouldn't bet against you, Ben. Not these days. There's probably only a handful of companies that control practically everything. You know, 3 companies, I was in the grocery business, so one thing I do keep up with is that 3 companies sell 73% of the nation's groceries. And that could become 2 if the Kroger buyout goes through, which it's looking now like it will. On a positive note here, Mookie finally ran out of gas, and he's zonked out in his box seat up there, his Skybird seat. Skybox, that's the word I'm looking for. Part of the order for the Mets here in the 6th. Ken Boyer 1 for 2 on the day. For Osteen, his first inning of potential fatigue here as he gets set to work. Here's the windup and the pitch to Boyer on a 1-8, and that ball is absolutely crushed to left field. Tommy Davis starts back, and he just stands there and watches it sail over the fence. Home run, Boyer. So on a 1-8 to 11, he throws the 1. And for Boyer now, that's his 3rd home run of the season. And here's Dick Stewart now. That's going to get him up in the pen. In real life in this game, Osteen went the distance. Let me take a moment to look at the usage printout here. I'm leaning towards molar. Although Bob Miller actually needs more work. It'll be molar warming up. Stewart 1 for 2 as Osteen comes set. Here's the pitch on a 2-7 fly ball to straightaway center. Willie Davis is there. And that's the first out. Swoboda 0 for 2. When I retired from Safeway, I worked part-time for Nabisco, which is actually now Mondelez Industries. I believe it's a foreign-based chain. And they had some really whacked policies, I can tell you that right now. I didn't stay with them too long. For one thing, I was already retired, and I didn't really need to take any more corporate BS. I didn't mind working, but after 40 years of that in the supermarket business, I had a pretty short fuse for BS at that point. Here's Swoboda 0 for 2. Osteen's pitch on a 1-5, called strike 3. Williams rings him up. Second strikeout for Swoboda today. And the 3rd for Osteen. And here's Billy Murphy, 1 for 2. The pitch is a 1-6, grounder down to third base. Gilliam gloves it, throws over to Parker, and that'll do it. So 1 run on the Boyer homer. And it's a 6-3 ball game. I understand completely, Ben. Yeah, a lot of us are struggling. There's no doubt about that. We've got switch hitters and lefties due. They're going to stay with Hepler for the time being. In fact, they'd like Hepler to pitch this inning because he bats third in the seventh. We'll see how it goes. Why don't I have... Here, bear with me a second here. Trying to figure out why I didn't have a balance rating written in for Bernarth. Tossing in the pen for the Mets, Darryl Sutherland. And Hepler will face the top of the order. Wills, Gilliam, and Davis. Wills turns around and bats right-handed against Hepler. And here's the pitch. It's going to be a 4-11 right-handed. A grounder down to first base. Stewart has it. He'll take it himself. And there's one away. Here's Gilliam, another switch hitter. He'll turn around as well and hit righty. Hepler's pitch on a 1-8. He walks him. Second walk issued by Hepler. Seventh walk issued by the Mets today. Gilliam, no threat to run. And here's Willie Davis. Left on left, Hepler out of the stretch on a 2-7 fly ball to straightaway center. Murphy backs up and makes the catch for the out. And the batter will be Fairley, 1 for 2 with a walk. Hepler gets the sign now. Here's the pitch on a 2-6. That's a base hit into left. It's an open single. Gilliam 12 to third, 10 with 2 outs, 12. Swoboda a 0. They'll hold him up at second on a 12. He'd be 12. And they'll play it conservatively and hold him at second. That'll bring up Tommy Davis. Davis, Lefevre, Parker. Not a good matchup for Hepler. I'm not sure if Sutherland's any better. On the fence on this one, I'm going to let the die decide it. 1 through 3, Hepler stays. They're going to pull him on a 6. So that's it for Hepler. Here comes Westrom. With the right-handed Davis coming up and 2 men on, they're going to go to Sutherland right here. And we're going to look at a possible double switch. Looking for somebody who can play center. We've got 2 who can. It's going to be Luplow. So we're going to double switch at Murphy's spot. Al Luplow will go in the 9 spot. He'll play center, where he's a 3-E-4 with a 0 arm. He's a 1 through 14 runner. And the pitcher will go in Murphy's spot. Now I'm going to refresh everything here, and then will get going again. Here's Sutherland. Let's check his numbers. Sutherland's been in 6 games, no record, a 3.86 ERA. Brought on here to face Tommy Davis. First and second, 2 away. The pitch to Davis is a 3-6. Struck him out looking. So Sutherland comes in and puts out the fire. The Dodgers no runs a hit, 2 left on. After 6 innings complete, it is 6-3 Dodgers. Osteen entering his second endurance inning. Bottom third for the Mets, it's Grody, McMillan, and Luplow. Grody struck out both times so far against Osteen. Osteen into the windup, pitch to Grody on a 5-7 right-handed. Ground ball to shortstop, play made by Wills, who throws him out. And timeout, there's somebody rattling around outside the door. Oh, never mind, I know what it is. That's Mookie's battery-operated toy was crashing into the door. I was trying to distract him with the toy after the Baranarth incident. And the batter will be McMillan, 1 for 2 on the day. The pitch from Osteen is a 1-8 left-handed. It's a ground ball wide to third, smothered by Gilliam. To his feet, throws to Parker in time. And here's Luplow now. Came on in that double switch. Left on left. Osteen comes in with a 3-8, and Luplow bangs a base hit into right field to a 2-out single by Luplow. Let's check his running ability. He's not a threat to steal. I'll turn the lineup over and get Cleon Jones up to the plate. Osteen checks the runner. Pitch to Cleon on a 2-7 is a single to 7. On a 15, that liner speared at third by a diving Gilliam. So a nice play by Gilliam ends the inning. For the Mets, no runs a hit, 1 left on. As we stretch for the 7th, it is 6-3 Dodgers. And then to compound things, I have an apartment inspection tomorrow. It's something they do annually. That can occur anywhere between 9 and 5, so I'm hoping they do that before 1:30. With my luck lately, they'll be knocking at the door while I'm trying to play the game tomorrow. Hey, Mookie, did you settle down? He says, yes, I'm perfectly content now. My vengeance on Baranarth has been extracted. And now I can, he's got the claws hanging down today too, the paws. Mookie. And there's the troublemaker. Yes, sirree. He knows who he is. And that's why he smokes only Tijuana Smalls. Okay, that's going to be a real long shot of a reference there, if anybody can put that one together. I think it's on YouTube, actually. You could search for the Tijuana Smalls commercial. It's totally nonsensical, but I always enjoyed it. I've never quite understood how a certain cigar, a cheap cigar at that, could help you to know who you are. Okay? I mean, come on. But advertising, right? Okay, I am going to top off the coffee. Sorry about the distracted game today. I feel like not my best broadcasting effort. Truth be told, I had to medicate after the mall experience. Oh, shit. Okay, back to the game. Bottom of the seventh inning. 6-3 Dodgers. It's Lefevre, Parker, and Roseboro. Lefevre hitting righty against, Lefevre turns around once again. He'll hit left-handed against Sutherland. And here's the pitch on a 5-9 ground ball to second base, fielded there by Hunt. Throws him out, one down. I'm checking to see what's left in the Met pen. Next best bet is either Arrigo or Bernarth. Sutherland, a backwards righty, seemed logical against the switch hitters. Parker 1 for 3. Sutherland comes in with a 3-7, and he loses in ball 4. So yet another base on balls issued by the Mets. Sutherland a +1, Grody a -1. That makes Parker a 14. Now they can hold him at 14. I want the die decide. 1-3, they hold him. They will not hold him. So do they want to try for the lead at 14? I think they do. 7 or 12. 7, he's got it. 1-14. There he goes. Grody's throw down. He's stolen it. So a stolen base for Parker. Let's check those numbers now. I don't think Parker's stolen very many. That's just his second. And here's the next pitch to Roseboro. On a 4-8 left-handed, he walks him. Back-to-back walks issued here by Sutherland. And with one out, the batter will be Osteen. Osteen, a C bunter. I'm going to roll it for in or back. They will be in. That makes him a D. And he's going to swing away, a left-handed hitter. On a 4-8, he walks him to load the bases. 3 consecutive walks by Sutherland, and that's going to bring Westrom out to the mound. Two switch hitters to follow. That's the only problem. But they're going to make a move. They're going to bring Jerry Arrigo in. Arrigo, kind of a backwards lefty. Acquired a few days ago in trade. And he brought a much-needed second left-handed reliever to the Mets. Sutherland came on here. Let's do Hepler first. Hepler 1. Hepler worked 1 2/3. 3 hits, 1 run, walked 2, struck out 1. Sutherland 2/3 of an inning. No hits, 3 walks, and a strikeout. That is 10 walks issued by the Mets staff today. And here's Wills now. Arrigo getting warmed up. Looking at Arrigo's numbers, he's only been in 2 games for the Mets. 1.80 ERA. I could check his total numbers. 4.91 in 11 innings. I believe he came over from the Reds, I want to say. I could be wrong. So Wills will bat right-handed now. And Wills an A bunter. Parker at third. They're going to pull the infield in here. Normally, I don't like to do that with the bases loaded, but with an A bunter up there and a fast runner at third, they're going to have to. Full windup. It's a 1-8, and he walks Wills to force in a run. That's 4 consecutive walks. Holy crikeys. Parker scores. Wills gets an RBI on the walk, his 3rd of the day. That makes it 7-3, and the batter is Gilliam. Gilliam doubled and walked twice. And for Gilliam, we're going to play at double play depth. No threat to squeeze, and he has a decent amount of ground ball A's. Arrigo, the full windup, the pitch to Gilliam on a 4-8, swung on and missed, strike 3. That's a huge second out. No runners can move on the strikeout. And here's Willie Davis now with 2 down. And Davis 0 for 3 with a walk. Left on left. Arrigo comes in with a 5-7, and that is a 2-star single into left center. Luplo cuts it off. Here comes Roseboro to score. Right behind him is Osteen. All the way to third goes Wills, and it's a 2-run single for Willie Davis. Yeah, that pretty much blows the game open. That makes it 9-3. Davis 18, he'll have to be held at 16. And the batter will be Fairley. Fairley 2 for 3 with a walk. Arrigo gets the sign, and on a 4-12, it's a grounder down to first. Stewart will take it himself, and that will do it. But not before the Dodgers tack on 3 on just 1 hit. 4 Met walks in the inning. 11 in the game. Holy cow. Oh, it's nothing bad, Bill. It's something it's just routine. They want to make sure you're in compliance with the rules, and then they take pictures of all the appliances, the serial numbers, and the model numbers. They do that every year. I don't know why. It's not like I changed out the stove or something, and didn't tell them. Right? It's a rental. I mean, it's the same stove it was last year, folks. But if you have to take another picture of it, knock yourself out. And you can't have anything within 12 inches of any of the heaters. Pretty common sense stuff, but it's all for safety. And actually, I kind of appreciate that part of it. I was in an apartment fire back in the early 90s. I was in a different apartment, and this gal piled all of her dirty laundry on top of the cord to a space heater and burned down half the building. So yeah, it can happen. There is no cure for stupidity. Okay, eighth inning. What is the score now? 9-3 Dodgers. Osteen, now in his third endurance inning, will be facing Hunt, Boyer, and Stewart. The pitch from Osteen is a 3-6, and he walks him. So the Dodgers saying, hey, we're going to get in on the walk parade too. That's the first walk Osteen has issued, however. And Hunt, a star 15 stealer, but Osteen with a -1 hole, and Roseboro with that -3 cannon back there. That makes -4, knocks him down to an 11. He won't need to be held. Here's Boyer. Boyer 2 for 3, a double and a homer. Osteen out of the stretch. Comes in with a 1-4, fly ball the other way into right field, fairly gliding over, and makes the grab. Oh, what a shame, Ben. Yikes. A sofa outlet. Good grief. I have one of those kind of sofas. I have a small lamp plugged into it. Once in a while I use it to charge my phone. That's it. Here's Stewart, 1 for 3. Osteen out of the stretch. It's a 4-6 right-handed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That is strikeout number 4 for Claude. Oh my God. Here's Swoboda, 0 for 3, fan twice. Osteen's pitch on a 1-7, a grounder down to third base. It's Gilliam over to Parker, side retired. No runs, no hits, a man left. So Claude Osteen now, after a rocky first, has settled down nicely. Your roomie, a great cookout. Oh my goodness. I'm really resisting the temptation here to say something. Tommy Davis will lead it off in the bottom of the 8th. Arrigo ready to go to work. The windup and the pitch on a 2-11 is a ground ball wide to second. Hunt is there. Sidearm throw to Stewart, 1 down. Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, you've got them starting the fire, and then your roommate can't tell the difference between something burning and a barbecue. Just mind-numbing, really. Here's Lefevre, 0 for 3 with a walk, batting right-handed against Arrigo. Pitch is a 5-12 grounder to second base X. Tough chance for Hunt. A 3E28 ranges up the middle. On an 8, it's the E range. An 8 on 28, he makes a fine stop to his feet, and, excuse me, it's a 28. Still the same result. On an 8, makes the play and throws him out. 4-3X. 2 away, and the batter is Wes Parker. Parker hitting right-handed. Arrigo gets the sign from Jody now. Here's the pitch on a 4-7, and he walks him. Yet another walk. That's the 12th walk issued by New York pitching today. You're not going to win many games that way. Batter will be Roseboro. 1 for 3 with, of course, a walk. The pitch from Arrigo is a 5-4 fly to center field X. That is Luplo now, a 3E4. Luplow ranging to the gap. Here's the roll of the play on a 14. Fine running catch by Luplow to end the inning. So 8X side retired for the Dodgers. No runs, no hits, 1 left on. And we're going to the 9th inning. 9-3. Osteen going for the complete game now. A 6 endurance starter. Bob Miller takes off the jacket and begins tossing lightly behind him just in case. Oh my God, Ben, what a story. Yeah, when I had my apartment fire, my sister was living with me at the time. We had to go stay with my mom while they cleaned up the place. I didn't have any fire damage to my unit, but I did have quite a bit of smoke damage. With the pitcher's spot to lead things off, the Mets will start off the 9th with a pinch hitter. Only 2 right-handers on the bench. It's going to be Jim Hickman. So here's Hickman now batting for the pitcher. Osteen gets the sign from Roseboro now. Here's the pitch to Hickman on a 3-12. He hits him. Oh my goodness. Not what you want to be doing with a 6-run lead. Hickman jogs down to first. And here's Jerry Grody. Osteen studying the signs. Now from the stretch. Pitch to Grody on a 2-7. It's a grounder to short. Wills has it to Lefevre. On to Parker. Double play. And the Mets are down to their last out. Is it going to be McMillan? Not much of a hitter, but I'm not sure they have anybody better. I see a lot of left-handers. Hawk Taylor, the only righty. They're going to send Cranepool up to hit for McMillan. McMillan just too bad to be entrusted with the last out against a lefty. So here's Ed Cranepool now, Mr. Met. Osteen trying to close the door on this one. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch on a 5-4. It's catcher's card X. That's the Gold Glover Roseboro. 1E4 on a 3. Foul out to the catcher, and that's the ball game. Nine to 3, the final. Dodgers win it. I'll have the totals for you in just a moment. So a nice job for Osteen. He picks up the win, improves to 3-6. Hamilton takes the loss. He drops to 2-4. So that was the second pitcher. So Sutherland allowed 3 runs. Arrigo in his 1 2/3, 1 hit, no runs, walked 2, struck out 1. Look at that, 7, 10, 12 walks issued by Met pitching today. Osteen and going the distance, 4 hits in the first, 5, 6, 7, ended up with a 7-hitter. 3 runs allowed, walked 1 and hit a batter, and struck out 4. Thank you, Mike. Osteen, player of the game. That seems quite likely to me. Let me take a look at it. Will's 3 ribbies. Davis a hit, 2 ribbies. Yeah, I would agree with that. Claude Osteen is your player of the game. Dodgers in winning score 9 runs on only 9 hits, no errors. Mets 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. I'm checking that again. That's correct, an errorless ball game. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for watching, everybody. Looking ahead on the schedule, tomorrow we'll have the Chicago White Sox at the New York Yankees. Another good matchup. Joe Harlan will start for the White Sox. Mel Stottlemyre for the Yankees. That's 1:30 Pacific. That'll be the Friday happy hour game. Then I'll be off Saturday. So join me tomorrow. We'll start off the weekend with a couple of drinks and hopefully a good game. In the meantime, I want to wish you all a pleasant good evening. Take care, everybody. So long for now.